Welcome back, delectable pot coven. We are here with another episode about tools and how we use them in our witchcraft practices. And Jasmine's going to be leading this one, but before we get into that, I'd like to know what all you witches are currently up to in your own lives. Start with you, Jasmine.
When you said tools, now I can't remember what I was going to say. I think I was just going to call us tools anyway. That's all.
I had a similar thought about tools. I was like, Tool Academy?
Tools, why we love them, why we are them. What's up in my life? I'm writing a dictionary, an astrology dictionary.
Shut up, are you really?
Yes, I am.
That's so fucking cool. Okay, sorry. Please continue.
I'm writing an astrology dictionary because I'm always like, astrology's a language. It's not a belief system, which is true. And I know a lot of times people can get frustrated because astrology does have like a lot of jargon words. People are like, what the fuck is an ephemeris? What does an intercepted house mean? What are you talking about? I'm making a new ebook. It's an astrology dictionary. It's going to be cute. It's going to have like diagrams in it as well, so that, it's not just words, because sometimes just trying to explain shit with words is hard. So you can actually like see what the heck I'm talking about as well. So I'm working on that. I mean, by the time this episode comes out, hopefully it's going to be almost done. Follow me on Instagram at satin.saturn. Sign up for my newsletter as well. You can do that through the link in my bio to make sure to be on top of this announcement so you can get a copy of the astrology dictionary. You can learn all your astrology words and learn to speak the language, or at least have a reference, so you can go, What the heck is this person talking about? What the heck is that word? Now you can know. So, that's what's up with me. Ella, what you got going on?
All right. Well, think about this a second. Oh, Patreon, babies. Come join me on Patreon. So recently, I guess not so recently, I've always kind of known since I started practicing witchcraft that there was a part for me to play in helping other people who have basically left the church. And so I've started up a Facebook group to kind of get everyone together, and you can, have a safe space to communicate. I'm going to start it off as free for the time being. I know that at some point in the future I'll have to do like some like $1 a month kind of thing just to make it worth the time and energy. But as of, just starting out, I'm like, let's just let people get in and get started and, help everybody out, even if $1 a month is too much. No big deal. So, yes, come check out my Instagram at the.celestial.rose. I'll have more details for you on my page. Usually there's links in my bio you can click on, or posts that I've made about it, or stories. So, come check it out. How about you, Jess? What you up to?
I am currently talking a whole lot about what it means to reparent yourself on my Instagram page. Really just like releasing old stories and paradigms that we've told ourselves that are true, that are not fucking true, that are keeping us from living life to its full potential, from achieving our dreams and desires, and just like not being stuck in the bullshit that is causing us all this suffering in life. That's what I am working on, getting out into the collective mind space at the moment, and I am also working on creating a course around this, so be on the lookout for that. You can find all that good information on the Cloak of Love at Instagram. That's not how you put it in there, but that's how I said it.
I think our listeners can figure it out. I think they'll figure it out.
Unless you're new to Instagram, and in which case I'm sorry for confusing you.
You?
All right, we ready to learn about some earth tools?
Please tell us all about the earth tools, Jasmine.
Tools crafted from the earth. Anywho, all right. So we decided to, if you didn't listen to the last episode, or if you just don't remember, we decided to organize the 3 tools that we would talk about in each episode by astrology sign. Now, we are just taking our own liberties and deciding which tool is associated with each astrology sign. Just based on our own information, our own research, and our own proclivities. So I'm starting off with crystals because I think crystals are most related to Taurus. Why is that? Taurus rules over structures, and what makes crystals so amazing as a magical tool is because of their crystalline structure. The actual formation of crystals, what makes something a crystal is the crystalline formation. It's literally how they form. And I can't get into more detail than that because I can read science, I can absorb it, I can say, wow, that's really cool. And then my brain says, okay, and now we shred the files. It doesn't stay. The science stuff very often does not stay in my brain. I just know it's called a crystalline structure, which it essentially, the bottom line from that is that it's really structurally strong. Crystals, you ever held one in your hand? It's very, very strong. One way you can use a crystal as a tool is you can throw it at someone. It's going to hurt them. It's a defense mechanism, if you will. JK, don't do that unless you really have to. Yeah, so they're structurally very sound, and in a magical sense, because of course crystals are studied scientifically, geologically. I just went yesterday, as we're recording this yesterday, I just went to the Natural History Museum in LA, and there was a whole exhibit on crystals. Big old crystals. So science dorks, they like crystals too, all right? They call them minerals. They do call them crystals too, but they like to call them minerals too. So they can hold on to energy better than we can, okay? So for example, like one time I was walking down the street, and this happens plenty of times, but I really noticed it one time. I was just walking down the street by myself, and this car just like skidded by, and you could just tell that the driver was like in a fucking bad mood, they just had fucking road rage. And so they were driving with so much rage that then like their energy transferred to me, and then I was enraged for like 2 hours, we didn't even make physical contact with one another, and I just picked up that energy. So we're not very structurally sound. Our energy rubs off on each other so easily to the point that we don't even have to like fucking touch each other. We don't have to concentrate that hard. That energy can be absorbed. Crystals, right? But it can also pass like very quickly. Crystals, because of how structurally sound they are, they can hold on to energy for much longer. So they're very great for setting intentions. A lot of times I will just sit in a meditative position, hold a crystal in my hand, and for, however long it feels right or necessary, it's usually a couple minutes, 5 to 20 minutes, I focus on the intention and focus on putting it into the crystal. It can hold that intention for a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer. It's not going to hold on to it forever because it's still going to dissipate eventually. Crystal's going to pick up other energies eventually, it's not as much of a sponge as we are because of the way crystals form and how structurally sound they are. Crystals are also really great for color magic because like rose quartz, it's got that pink color. Tourmaline comes in green, sometimes purple, sometimes a mix of both. So If you utilize color magic in your spells, you can also work with color magic. Yeah, and I like using crystals as well because you can wear them. So then you can wear that intention with you every day. I know people love to shove crystals in their bra as well, or in their pockets, or carry them in your purse. You can put one in your wallet too, if you've done like a money or an abundance spell. So very, very handy. And yeah, I think it relates to Taurus because of how structurally sound it is. And Taurus tends to be very determined, slow moving, like when they've got their eyes on the prize, they're going to take their time to get there. And I just feel like crystals are very representative of that. When you give a crystal a task, it's like, all right, give me 4 weeks. You know, if you give Taurus a task, it's like, all right, I'm going to do it at my own time, but I'm going to get there, you know? Makes sense. So then my next one is herbs. So herbs, I've decided to relate to Virgo. Makes sense, right? Virgo's represented by the maiden, aka Persephone. Okay. So herbs can be used in a lot of different ways because we could use fresh herbs or dried herbs in magic. For fresh herbs, we can use that in food magic. What does that say? Oh, I wrote food magic. No, I don't know what that says. Food magic makes ordinary tasks magical. That's what my handwriting says. Food magic makes ordinary tasks magical, which is a pillar of modern witchcraft, you know, because making the ordinary magical is really what life is all about, I feel like, you know. It's not about creating this separate life where you're doing magical things. It's about making your life that you live already more magical, you know, making the things that you already do magical. Anyway, so herbs, a really great way to do that because you can already just open up your spice cabinet, just pull out all the spices you use, go to your computer and just type in like, you know, what are the magical properties of basil? What are the magical properties of cayenne pepper? You know, and there you go. Boom. You're already doing magic. But we can also use herbs to dress candles. You know, whatever kind of candle you're using, whether it's a chime candle, a pillar candle, you can sprinkle it on, rub it in a little oil first. Once again, if you don't know what the magical properties of that herb are already, it might be good to go and Google it first, do some research, scan who's talking about this herb, you know. Do you want to go into the scientific journals? Do you want to go onto the witchy WordPress sites, you know? It's up to you. Use your discrepancy, whichever feels better for you. And what I love about using herbs as well is like common ones are great and they're cheap and you can find them at the grocery store. You know, we love budget witchcraft. You don't have to, you know, drop a whole bunch of money to do witchy shit on the daily, right? You could just go to the store and spend $3 on an herb. Plus, you probably already have a bunch in your house right now. Or, you know, if you're ready to level up your witchcraft skills a bit, you can grow your own herbs because this helps you get in touch with the earth element even more. You know, start your own little herb garden, maybe go buy 1, 2, or 3 plants. If you already even especially know that you like certain herbs, if you're really a big fan of bay leaf, you know, go grab a plant, start growing it because then you're just going to be more tied to the process of that growth. And so using that leaf, you're just a part of its whole life cycle. And it's just going to enhance that power because you have that deeper connection to that leaf now. So using it, writing your intention on it, burning it, releasing that intention is just a deeper connection. So if you're ready to level up your earthy witchcraft, go buy some herbs. I would love to. I just don't have enough light in my house quite yet. I really want an herb garden. Someday, I will do it. I'll tap into my Virgo energy.
You know what my favorite way to make an herb garden is? I literally will go and buy, like, fresh herbs from, like, a market, or you can even go, like, the grocery store, whatever, wherever you got them. Fucking put them in water for a few days, usually, up to, like, 2 weeks, maybe. And they'll grow little roots.
Yes.
You can put it, like, right in your little windowsill. I've definitely lived in a lot of apartments where I'm like, I must have green in this house somewhere. Like, if I don't, I will fucking die.
Right. The house that I'm staying in right now in LA has over 100 plants.
Yes.
They do have a lot more windows than we do at our place back in Sac. But she also really utilizes, like, the window ledges a lot. And I'm like, you know what? I have a window ledge in my office, and I don't put any plants on it, you know? I could just, and she has a lot of big, beautiful plants, but she also has, like, a bunch of teeny tiny plants that she'll just put all over the windowsills. And I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know? I could do that.
And a lot of things, too,
I actually do a lot.
Go.
Oh. I do a lot of my altar spaces on my window ledges.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I have crystals and, like, my iron protection amulet on my windowsill in my office right now. Well, not right now because it's with me in LA, but but I'm like, I could throw some little baby plants up there. I could do it.
Totally.
That could be me. That could be me. We only have one good, like, big window that gets, like, a lot of light, like, for the whole day, and that's just where we have all of our plants in our house. But I'm like, it would be nice to have them in more places. We could definitely put some in the bathroom. It could happen. I could make it happen. All right. Capricorn. That's my sun sign. Let's talk about what tool is the Capricorn tool. It's graveyard dirt. Yep. I also wrote dirt/graveyard dirt because people do just use regular old dirt in their spell work as well. However, all my notes are on graveyard dirt and graveyard dirt, yes. Graveyard dirt is pretty dope, so we're going to focus on that. But dirt is a common tool used in witchcraft as well, just regular old dirt from from your front yard. Can be used, so just throwing it out there. But let's talk about graveyard dirt. There's some etiquette when using graveyard dirt. You got to ask first. You can't just be taking dirt from random people's graves. It's pretty not chill, you know. It's low key a form of necromancy, so. Definitely don't just wander into the graveyard and with a shovel and a bucket and just start taking anyone's dirt, because you don't know who's going to follow you out of there or what's going to happen to you. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Not to mention the legal ramifications of you waltzing into a cemetery with a shovel and a bucket to scoop up graveyard dirt.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Make it sneaky.
Yeah.
Make it discreet.
Yes. Be discreet. Be discreet. It is better if you know the person, from the gravesite, or if you know of them, that works as well. So, like, a lot of times people will use the dirt from their family member or their ancestor, or from someone really famous, or maybe not like really, really famous, but like someone who's famous, right? If you know this person, it's best not to take graveyard dirt from someone that you don't know of whatsoever. I believe some people do that if they are mediums and they can communicate with the person whose grave it is and talk to them and, not... and therefore not be strangers with that person, but definitely never take graveyard dirt from a stranger's grave. That's the bottom line. So the use of the graveyard dirt, you might be wondering, like, why are we doing this? Why are we using graveyard dirt? basically it's something that can be used for many different things, and it is dependent on whose grave you're taking it from, your relationship with that person, what kind of person that is. If it's someone that you loved very deeply, the dirt can be used for a love spell, an abundance spell. If you are taking it from someone's grave who is famous, or perhaps very famous in a career that you want to be famous in, you can use it for abundance or fame or something like that. If you're taking it from the grave of someone who, maybe a family member who was not great, someone nasty, you can use it for baneful magic. It's really dependent on who you're taking it from. It can also be very good for ancestor work in general. So that's probably the best thing you can do. If you're interested in ancestor work, graveyard dirt might be something you're interested in. It can be something you can put on your altar. Once again, something you can dress your candles in. It can be very good for channeling work. Once again, connecting to your ancestors. If you're literally, especially that one ancestor, if you're taking some of their dirt, bringing it back to your altar, you're kind of like, hey, come here. Come hang out over here. So also you want to know that ancestor because you are bringing them a little bit of them back with you. It can also be used for new beginnings or endings, because death is an ending or a new beginning. Another fun way you can use graveyard dirt is you can add it to a salt mixture. I'm really doing well with my words right now. And sprinkle it around your home or around your doors or windows for added protection. It can be a strengthener with salt for protection. So that's our Capricorn earth tool. It's fitting for Capricorn. You might think of just, Pluto, Scorpio energy for death and graveyards and all that stuff. But Saturn, aka Kronos, is Father Time. He carries a scythe. Before there was Hades, Kronos was the guy who hung out in the underworld all the time. He may not be the king of the underworld, but he really dug the underworld. So he does have underworld connections. So it makes sense. It's
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about the whole Kronos, Saturn, Father Time, Capricorn little connection. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yes, he is Father Time. Yeah. Stephen Fry wrote the book Mythos, which is a modern retelling of the Greek myths. And he's very educated, so he doesn't
fuck it up.
He doesn't fuck it up. It's a very thick book. He does a very good job, but every now and then it's quite funny. And so when he's talking about Kronos, when his mother Gaia is going around trying to ask all of her children, please kill, your dad Uranus, someone kill him. His older sister Rhea is you should go ask Kronos. He's always hanging around brooding in the underworld, which is called Tartarus. And he's the way he describes him, he's just this moody teenager, just brooding, just always hanging out in the darkness of the underworld. Yes, there's Daddy Saturn.
I love it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Is that all? That's the end of your thing, right? Was Capricorn?
Yes.
Awesome.
That's my daddy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for all of that fucking awesome info. I love it. You guys know where to find us, but if you don't, you can find us on Instagram at Power of Three Podcast. I guess Mushmouth is the fucking theme today. Okay. on Instagram, we are at Power of Three Podcast. If you want to send us an email with your comments, concerns, questions, etc., we can be reached at powerof3witchpodcast@gmail.com. Whatever app or device or whatever you're using to listen to this, please rate, review, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. If you share it on Instagram, make sure you tag us, because we just absolutely like get all the fucking feels when you guys are like, oh my god, I love this podcast, and we're like, yes, thank you. So do it. We love you. Have a great week, y'all. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.